All right, welcome in as we are live right here, the Daily Fix, and I am your guy, Ron Hughley. Catch us every day right here, live 12 Central Standard Time, right here on Foolish Club Media. We appreciate you taking us in every day, especially guys and ladies that ride with us every day. Right there in that little box, right there for you to see. It is Stephen, sir, to say hello to the people, Steve.
Hi.
Yeah, there it is. The famous high right there from Steve Serta. But look, man, we're happy to have you in. It's a big week, obviously championship game week, and we're holding it down for you. One thing I do need you to do before we get started, if you have not done so, is please like and subscribe. Foolish Club Media on our YouTube channel. Like and subscribe there. Remember, if you don't do so, you are preventing my children from eating. Hey, you can go back and check out a nice pod that was dropped yesterday. Brian's World had a nice little talk with our friend, well, some of y'all's friends, Pete Sweeney from Arrowhead Pride, and covers the Chiefs. Beach season coming up tomorrow. You'll be able to catch Show and BK as we get it rolling, and we got a pregame show getting you ready for the Chiefs and Bills, and obviously the postgame show with Serta and Rocky comes after every Chiefs game. All right, not going to hold you too long here. Jimmy Butler, boy, he is serious. I mean, when you talk, this may be one of the best. I'm getting traded, and I will just do whatever it takes to make everyone uncomfortable doing it. Do the Chiefs have a problem with a certain player? We'll discuss that. I'm really intrigued to get to hear what you think about this, Serta. But I want to start here, and one of the things about the Chiefs, Serta, here is, do you get the feel you've seen the Chiefs' best game? Like, do you get the feel you've seen anything close to their best game? And we say best game, you know what I mean? The A game performance. Listen, Serta, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl last year, and I remember us trying to push and ask about that every week, it felt like.
Yeah.
I still don't know if we ever saw the Chiefs A game. Like, I mean, and I think you can feel it. I still don't know if we ever saw it and they won the Super Bowl. I damn sure don't think we've seen it this year. The closest to me is the Pittsburgh game. But then you could still see some things that could really be fixed. And there was, a pretty big piece that wasn't on the field at all in that game. So that's the other part is I still don't think we've seen, like, I could think of almost every team in the league and say, well, that we've seen about as good as they can play. I don't know that we've seen that from the Chiefs yet.
I don't think we have. I agree that Pittsburgh's probably the closest thing that we saw. And then there was like the 49ers game and the Saints game, like earlier in the season. Like they had some examples where it was like, okay, those were good all around wins. Like they played well in all three phases. But there was still things you could point to, like giving up third and longs like multiple times against the Steelers. Like there were still issues in all of those games. They've not played
They
their
didn't run the
best
ball.
game top to bottom.
They didn't run the ball with a flip against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And Chris Jones it wasn't in the game. So it's kind of hard to say, all right, there's your A game with maybe your second most important player not on the field and the one who the defense goes through. Yet you still had 5 sacks in it. Yeah, I would say Pittsburgh, and like you brought up, San Francisco's a good one. They still had 2 turnovers in that game, right? And didn't have Hollywood Brown and didn't have Hopkins. Like they did, like there was still like missing pieces in that game. The Saints game, they had a red zone turnover. They kicked a bunch of field goals in that game. Like it is hard to see, like, bam, hey, they was cooking on offense. They was cooking on deep. They ain't had like a 30-10 game. Like a 29-10 is the closest. But as you said, there's some things there. I don't necessarily know that the Chiefs have to play their A game to beat the Bills. I think they have to play a good game to beat the Bills. But man, I wonder if we will see that type of performance, because I still don't think we've seen the best of this team.
I think they have to play the best that they've played all year in this game. And I think it doesn't matter who it's against. Like, the Chiefs can still make mistakes and overcome those things because of Patrick Mahomes, because of Chris Jones, because of Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, because of the Hall of Famers that incorporate this entire thing.
Spags, yeah.
But I think that this game, like this particular team, Josh Allen, like the way that he is playing and the way that he has carried this team, like this team is designed to go head to head with you and to try to compete with you and to try to take you down. The Bills have always been chasing the Chiefs in the Josh Allen era, and they've gotten better at it. And the Chiefs simply can't have unforced turnovers, bad mistakes, because I think Buffalo is a team that can go capitalize on those things.
All right, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I would love to see a grade A performance. All right, man. Do we have a Isaiah Pacheco problem? Is this now become an issue? Because I think that's a conversation that has now, I think, started to really get louder and louder, especially after the Chiefs cheated the Texans, I guess, in winning on last Saturday. Outside of the only thing that mattered in the game, officiating for the Chiefs, like it was clear they didn't run the ball worth a flip at all. I think they ran for 50 yards, right? They didn't run the ball for worth a flip. But the only time there was a level of success was towards the end, and it was with Kareem Hunt. That one drive where Kareem ran it and he's crawling on the ground and he's giving the Zeke Elliott feed me more. Like that was like the only time that they had some success. And really, let's just be honest, we were all craving and hoping Pacheco would come back and get to see that guy and get him to get carries because he started off the year so well and ended it last year. And it felt like this may be a breakout year. But I mean, we're just being honest. He hasn't produced and looked the same. Now, I think there is an argument of Joe Tooney playing left tackle and not left guard, and Mike Caliendo over there maybe some issues, and they have clearly become a lesser offensive line when it comes to running the football. But it does feel like it just seems like there's more success when Kareem's there. I, however, sort of am not ready to just hand this thing completely to 29. I still just believe he's the more explosive back. And I do think, given the chance of a big play or explosive plays or a game-turning play, I still think it's Pacheco. If you want to say let's split them half and half, which I felt like they've been closer to doing that anyway, their numbers are pretty much the same since Pacheco has come back, that's fine. But I am not ready to just say, all right, let's say there are 20 carries in this game. 15 of them go to Kareem. I'm not ready to go there yet.
Yeah, I think I am. And it's not because I don't like Isaiah Pacheco or think that he adds an explosive element to the offense. I just don't think he's quite the same player after coming back from the injury. And it's not to say that he can't be that in the future. I just think coming back from a broken leg early in the season and trying to have that explosiveness that is, his calling card, I think it's difficult when you're trying to rehab an injury in the middle of the season and you can't work out the same way and you can't do all the things you're doing in the off season to get ready to go for the season. He just doesn't look as explosive. And then that tends to bleed into everything else, that all of the issues that I've ever had with him as a player is like, yes, he runs really hard. Yes, he's explosive when he can get out into open space, but he's never been a patient runner. He's never been a super shifty runner. Like he's not great. His vision's not particularly great. A lot of times he just runs headfirst into contact to try to see if he can bounce off of it and create an explosive run. Kareem Hunt is a much more well-rounded running back, and I think that's all the Chiefs need their run game to be, is efficient. Doesn't need to be explosive. It just can't be a negative, and I feel like Kareem Hunt offers that more than Isaiah Pacheco does right now.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to go crazy if they decide to make the shift. I'm just not prepared to let it ride yet. I'm not prepared to just give it all to Kareem because I'll just be honest, like this is very much like other situations we've seen to where I think Kareem, when you watch it, eye test, now the numbers say they're about the same. They've had the same like amount of carries, yards. Kareem just has more touchdowns because I think he gets the goal line carries. But it just hasn't been enough for me to just say, yo, man, it's just a clear difference level of production when Kareem is in. I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I'm not ready to just completely make the shift. All right. Finally here, this man, Jimmy Butler, he is daring Pat Riley. And then Pat Riley said, I'm going to be a stubborn old 80-year-old and I'm going to fight this like hell too. Jimmy Butler wants out of Miami. He wants to be traded. And Pat Riley is like, nope, not doing it. They suspended him 7 games for conduct detrimental to the team because he was out there just letting it rip about Miami. Yep, I don't see myself playing here. I don't see myself. I want out. He just went to the media and said it. I mean, like there have been some even questionable stuff on the court. I mean, he just started taking one-legged 3-point shots in some of his last games played where it's like, hold on, Jimmy, I've never seen you take a shot like that in a game. So they suspended him. He's supposed to return on Wednesday. This comes from Shams. The Miami Heat are planning to suspend Jimmy Butler for 2 games, sources tell ESPN. And now Miami's keeping him home from his 2-game road trip. Serta, my man is like, nah, you ain't gonna get me, dog. I ain't playing another game. I'm going to miss the team flight. I'm not ever doing it. And how many times you can suspend him? Like, just trade him, send him in, suspend him indefinitely. Like, honest to God, I think Pat Riley said, over my dead body, if you're not at least dressing up and putting a Miami Heat jersey on one more time. Over my dead body. And Jimmy's like, nope, I'm going to sit at home and I'm just going to make a bunch of espressos and coffee and drink it all day long. He's a big coffee guy. I don't know if you know that. Jimmy's a big coffee guy. This standoff is one of the greatest things I have watched in sports in a long time. And Jimmy, I wonder if Jimmy ever had any thought, like, was he even close to making the flight? Was he out like on the tarmac that one time Michael Irvin was there and Jimmy Johnson said, go. I don't think he ever planned on getting on that flight.
It has been entertaining to watch because this isn't the first time that Jimmy Butler has butted heads with Pat Riley, and Pat Riley's just like this living legend who is like, I am not going to be upstaged. Nope. I am in charge of this show. Like, no individual player will ever do that to me. And Jimmy, to his credit, is not backing down. And in the NBA, like, I mean, in the NBA, players can do this and get away with it. It's not like Jimmy needs the money. Like, Jimmy wants to go play for a team that has a chance to win, and the Heat aren't that right now. But it is ridiculous. All of this is absurd.
Serta, I would normally say Jimmy's going to win this. The player's going to win this because they generally always do. When they want to get traded, they get traded. If you are willing to get uncomfortable, like James Harden, who was willing to change his body and gain weight and get uncomfortable so to force the Houston Rockets to trade him, and say things in the media, they're going to win. I think Pat Riley is to a point where he will lose. He's willing to lose to win this battle.
I think Pat Riley is willing to be like, retire. I'm never gonna let you go.
Yeah, I think he's willing to Barry Sanders this. I think he is willing to go. And no, that would not be good for the team. But Pat's over there, hey baby, I got about 6-7 championships. I will sit on my ass in my 80s right now, and I will win this battle. All right? You got to play one more game for the Heat just so it looks like I won, and then I'll trade your ass. I can't wait to watch this. I'm and Courtney,